Kiss with a comeback hit at number 11 on my fantasy playlist, April 23rd, 1990. Kiss with Forever, number 11, closing in on the top 10 at last on this 50-song playlist. Fantasy playlist back in the spring of 1990. Guess who wrote this song with Paul Stanley? Michael Bolton. Michael Bolton was on fire back in the late 80s, early 90s. Wrote this song Forever with Paul Stanley of Kiss. Got a great acoustic guitar with Paul Stanley singing into the intro. Never could get into this song though. It's a great record, but I'm not into slow records. I like some of their others. I like their fast stuff. Indeed, let's go back to the 70s real quick. Disco music. God, I got into disco music. Late 70s. Boney M's with Ma Baker in 1977. And what was that song by Gonzalez in 1979? I Should Be Dancing or Should Be Dancing, something like that. That was a little delightful dance record. Got My Mind Made Up. Get It Girl by Instant Funk. That was in 1979. And Born to Be Alive by Patrick Hernandez. But a lot of people hated disco music. My goodness, particularly men. Ooh, my gosh, they hated disco music. Real men listened to Judas Priest, Black Sabbath, Led Zeppelin. The Beatles, definitely passable. Bob Dylan, fine. Bee Gees, Donna Summer, and all these other disco, forget it. You're not a man. You might as well be listening to Barry Manilow's greatest hits. But here's the thing. Casablanca Records, the epicenter of disco. Probably maligned by some of the anti-disco people. But here's the thing about Casablanca. The first major act, now Casablanca, the Village People, and Donna Summer, the flagship artists, the avatars or whatever, the disco era on Casablanca, Donna Summer, Village People. But the first major act that Casablanca signed up was Kiss, a legitimate rock and roll band. Although it wasn't like that at first, though. A lot of people hated Kiss. Even some of the radio stations that played heavy stuff, they would play Alice Cooper, but Kiss? We ain't playing no Kiss around here. They're an iconic band now, but not so much in the early days of Kiss. First single, though, kicked some butt. Kissin' Time in 1974. Remember that? Had the signature Kiss sound, the blending of glam and heavy metal, the campiness, the theater, the showbiz aspects of Kiss come into play. But their first record only got as high as number 83 in 1974. And then they came out with Rock and Roll All Night, Party All Day. But initially, it only went to number 68. 1975, early in 1975, around the spring of 75. And then Rock and Roll All Night, I believe that was the name of the song, re-released, fall of 1975, it tore it up, went to number 12. Late 1975, 1976, Shout It Out, and there was Beth and Hard Luck Woman going into 1977, Dr. Love in 1977, Love Gun Christine 16 in the summer of 1977, Detroit Rock City in 1976, 1978, Rocket Ride. Yes, remember Rocket Ride? And you might remember the fall of 78 when the four members of Kiss released their solo albums simultaneously. Something that was never done before, and I don't think done since. But the biggest hit of those four solo albums, though, the only top 40 hit was the scintillating New York Groove by Ace Frehley, the winner of 78 and 79. And then Kiss came roaring right back with I Was Made for Loving You in 1979. The 80s, they moved to another record label. I believe it was Mercury. It wasn't quite as commercially successful. One of their biggest records was... This is so vintage Kiss. Lick It Up. Oh my goodness. Well, well, I guess you know about their reputation backstage, particularly Gene Simmons. And I won't go there right now. Oh my goodness. And then you got the album Hot in the Shade. Their big break, well, their breakout. I guess their big comeback album, 1988, 1989. The guys who remixed this album for commercial release, they were veterans. They were big behind the scenes, not known to the general public. It was Steve Thompson and Michael Barberio, I believe is how you pronounce their names. These two guys, they worked on Appetite of Destruction by Guns N' Roses. As a matter of fact, Steve Thompson got his first big break working on a remix or mixing Appetite of Destruction by Guns N' Roses. And they worked together. These two guys, they worked together on production, engineering, and mixing of the album. I forget the album Four by Blues Traveler, which Run Around was off that album, and Hook, both hit records back in 1995. Rock and roll veterans, I mean, production veterans, working behind the scenes on this record by Kiss. Went to number 8 on Billboard's Hot 100 here in the States. But not so much, though, in Britain. Only got as high as number 65 in England. That's it. I wonder if Kiss is as well known in England as they are over here in the States. I guess they are. I mean, gosh, they had that image. They were just fantastic. The meshing of the serious rock and roll, the legit rock and roll, and the comic aspect of it as well, and the makeup and everything. There'll never be another band like Kiss. Kiss at number 11 with Forever. Fantasy Playlists of April 23rd, 1990.